Welcome to another episode of the Social Distancing Social Hour. As always, I'm one of your hosts, Steve Hofstetter, and I'm glad that you are joining us here as people pour into the chat and we make sure that the live stream is actually going forward, because there's always a delay. So we have to do the couple of seconds of talking as if it's not streaming, just in case it's not. But I just checked, and it certainly is. So as the comments come in, we are happy to hear from you. Whether you are kicking us a Venmo, throwing us a super chat, or just asking a question in general, your feedback is what makes this thing work. So thank you so much for joining us. And with that, I'm going to kick it over to one of our other hosts, Mr. Ben Gleib, everybody. Ben, of course, you know, as a regular cast member on Chelsea lately, also the host of Idiot Test on Netflix. Ben Gleib, everybody.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Thank you very much. Thank you, Steve Hofstetter, my esteemed co-host who has almost never gotten the name of the show right, and is the Social Distancing Social Club you are watching. The Social Distancing Social Hour is something different. I don't even know if that exists. Hopefully it does not. We don't need competition during end times. Let us be solo during end times. You do you. Don't do us. I hope you guys have a great time during this hour. I know we will. It is a real blast. People have been loving it. I hope you caught our Forbes article the other day. We were in Forbes. So I think we are doing the, hello? That was Jamie Kennedy trying to call me on my cell phone, and it went to on my wrong phone, so I don't know why that is. But we also were in USA Today. I'll now kick it over to our co-host, Chris Bowers, everybody, while I call Jamie Kennedy.
Hey, we're trying to figure out the tech with Jamie. Welcome to the show again. Again, we're drinking every day. Every day we're on break. We're drinking every night. And here's the rules. You don't have to drink by yourself if you're with people on a chat or in a something like this. So if you're by yourself, you're watching the stream, you can drink with me, and now you're not an alcoholic drinking by yourself. So let's go. Which, by the way, if you do shut all your doors and your windows and don't talk to anybody and drink a bunch, you're an alcoholic. You should probably not do that. But my rule is once you can't find anybody else to drink with you, that's when you know you have a problem. If you still have people who will drink with you, you're probably okay. Yeah, as long as you can find other people. What if those other people are in your AA group? Well, then, hey, as long as you got friends, it doesn't matter where they come from. Yeah, exactly. Well, we appreciate you guys being here. Is that Jamie? Do we get Jamie back in? What's going on? All right. Well, we appreciate you being here. Either way, we appreciate you, everybody being here. I see a ton of stuff coming in through the chat. As usual, the fans are what makes this show. And we have a special guest coming in, but we're still trying to figure out the tech, I think. So, Jamie, are you good yet?
Can you hear me?
We can hear you.
Yeah. Can you hear us?
Huh?
Can you hear us?
For some reason, my video works on one phone and my audio works on another, so I don't know what's going on. I'm just doing that. I know, I look like a teabag.
Are you able to hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, fantastic. Beautiful, beautiful hat, beautiful pool.
Hey, you know what, man? I was in the jacuzzi. I know that sounds like an asshole, but I don't know, man. Weird time.
Well, let's introduce our special guest properly. Ben, will you do this?
Sure. Well, first of all, I say if you're self-quarantining in your home and you have a hot tub, you better use that hot tub. It only makes sense. I wouldn't invite the locals in there to create a soup of germs, but as long as it's just you, I think it's a solid move. You know Jamie Kennedy. He is a superstar in the comedy world. He is a movie star. You know him from the Scream movies. You know him from the Jamie Kennedy Experiment. You know him from comedy clubs across the land. Jamie, how has the isolation time been going for you so far?
It's weird. You know, can you hear me, first of all?
Yep.
Yeah.
It's weird. Like, I'm going to be real with you. Like, this is the first time I've done anything kind of fun, you know. I want to do shit, but like, I get up, then I have a snack, then I check CNN, then I get worried, then I have some more snacks, then I nap, then I wake up, then I check CNN, and I get like weird vibes. You know what I mean? Like, it's weird. I'm,
Jamie-
you know, the greatest thing is to hang out with you guys.
Well, when in your life did sex become boring for you?
Probably after the third movie. I don't know.
Oh shit! You know what, dude? I think it's approaching my 50s. It's kind of like I've lived, you know, and now it's like I can like I don't have to be run by that as much.
I do hear you.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do hear you. It's kind of like I used to be really into sex too, but now I realize sometimes it's just a little easier for everybody involved for me just to go masturbate in the bathroom for 5 minutes.
Or
Takes
just
you
like
5
kind of
minutes?
like, or just read a little more.
I'm not familiar with that.
Yeah.
I'm kind of like Howie Mandel posted this thing today about barbecuing, and I was really into it. That's where I'm at.
I'd like to paraphrase the great Mitch Hedberg. I used to be controlled by sex. I still am, but I used to too.
I've had more sex this week than I think I have any week in the history of my life. So I don't know what's
but in
going on.
fairness, you're not quarantined by yourself. Like that's that's the big difference.
Hey, by the way, I didn't play the field till it was too late, fellas. I picked early.
Has there ever been a better time, by the way, handcrafted for Howie Mandel than a time where we are mandated to never speak terms?
I know. And he's ordering barbecue. I want to say, Howie, what are you doing? Did you see Contagion? That's how what's your face got sick.
Ordering barbecue food and somebody touched it?
Kate Winslet's character ordered takeout, and that's how she died.
Oh no! Takeout's all we got left.
I think that also depends on what takeout place you order from, and that's also something that could happen without a pandemic. You just have to be careful.
Jamie, my question for you is: do you think the Tremor movies have helped you prepare for this, or not?
You know, I'm telling you, dude. I was thinking about that earlier. I do have a little bit of yeah. Don't think I haven't been texting with Bert Gummer and see what he's got stocked up. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna go underground. Bakersfield's looking real nice right now. Pacoima, somewhere out there.
That's the first
that one nighter in fucking Holiday Inn didn't look so bad, does it now, Bowers?
Right? I take it.
That is the first time anyone's ever said Bakersfield looking real good right now.
I love Bakersfield, man.
Yeah,
I like stuff no one likes. Yeah, I had a great time at Bakersfield. I did a whole weekend there. It was only like 8 people a show, so we still would have been good. But we had 4 shows.
You guys wouldn't have been canceled.
We had a blast. I love the Bakersfield crowd. We went out drinking every night. It was super fun.
There were so many comedy clubs during this that I was thinking of when they were like, yeah, 10 or more people you can't have. And there's so many comedy clubs where I was just thinking, well, their Thursday show will still be okay.
Oh, yeah. Or any show I'm on. I'm literally the king of 10-person shows. Most of my career has been in front of 8 fucking people. So
right now, this is the most that most people Bowers ever played to. So we.
This is my most successful week in comedy by far. No question.
Also, can you call yourself the king of 10-person shows? That's like saying I'm the prince of 2-star reviews.
I get that. What I'm saying is most comics, when they see 10 people, they're like, fuck, there's only 10. And I'm like, oh, shit, there's 10. This will be great.
This is what I was trained for. That's like the end for him. That's the end of Bloodsport, where it's like all the training just comes back, and this is exactly what he's always been trying to do. That's a reference I'm sure most people didn't get. All right, in the chat,
I got it.
Thank you. If you want to ask a question, whether it is for Jamie Kennedy or for us in general, feel free to ask it, or you can super chat if you want to support the program. That is a wonderful way to do it. And obviously, our Venmo is at the top right of the screen as well, because YouTube takes a crazy portion of super chats. So Venmo makes the show a bunch more money. So Queen Rachel, who we have to point out each time, did not nickname herself Queen Rachel. That's super important. If she had, we would not let her say that. Do we have anything in the chat coming in?
Yeah, thanks for clarifying that, Steve. We do a lot of love for Jamie. Chris Burns says, I remember my first film I saw with Jamie was in Max Keeble. And
nice.
then Juan Harrellas came in and said, is it safe to heckle Steve in chat?
Yeah, it's perfectly safe because we could just bounce you. It's perfectly fun. Actually, if you want, I'll tell you what, throw in, I think it's we'll do a $5 floor. But if you super chat for $5, give me your worst heckle and we'll vote on who's the best. You know what? I'm gonna do this. Ben Bowers, if you're with me, let's do best heckle wins all of my albums. You guys want to throw yours in as well?
Yeah, I'll throw in some albums. I'll throw in some albums.
Excellent. So best heckle, you got to throw in $5 for it to count. Best heckle, we'll read them out and we'll vote on them. Best heckle wins a copy of all the albums from all of our hosts. Rachel, we will need you to keep track of who wins. So if you want to do that,
best heckle of us.
Of us, yeah.
I love the fact that in certain circumstances you talk shit to us and you get booted from the chat. In this instance, you talk shit to us, you win prizes.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, as long as it comes with $5, look, if everyone who ever heckled me gave me $5, I would be totally okay with it.
Oh yeah.
You probably would have made less money though, let's be honest.
That is true. If I was just like, thank you so much, and then never put the video up, I think I probably it'd be harder to sell tickets. But if you had, they say like, oh, if I had a nickel for every, blah blah blah, but if for inflation it's $5. I think heckles I'd be doing pretty well.
Fair enough. I buy that. You are the heckle crusher. I rarely ever get heckled because my thing is crowd work and I come into the crowd so aggressively, people rarely even dare heckle me. So you and I have both ends of that spectrum covered right there.
Yeah, I don't exactly. I don't get heckled because there's only 10 people. I know all their names. Just kind of
No, I've actually seen this.
Like grandma, enough.
Yeah, I actually use Bowers as an example when comics ask me about like what's the best way to deal with heckling. I use Bowers as an example of like we have two very different styles on stage. Like you have this weird thing that I don't understand called likability, and so like for my stuff, I can't I have to go at the crowd when they're coming at me, otherwise it won't make sense. But like with Bowers, I've seen you defeat hecklers where you just like get overly nice to them and they feel bad about it.
Oh yeah.
I have a question for Jamie. Jamie, tell us how much do you miss the stage, and have you been writing during this time? What have you been filling your time with other than lots of sex and reading Howie Mandel posts?
Did we lose Jamie?
Jamie?
I'm just imagining. Should we just close caption what he's saying? I miss it a lot. It's been really cool. I mean, my fans have been nice. They've been helping me out by sending me nice texts and things. But if you could
one program note, it says on our Chiron on screen that our guest on Saturday will be Josh Wolf, but days have no meaning anymore. No one knows what day it is. I just looked it up. Today is Saturday. Our guest will be tomorrow, Josh Wolf, on a day that used to be known as Sunday.
They actually have this new thing now where it's just one long day and it's called boredom. That's the new day of the week. Jamie, I don't know if you can hear us, but we can no longer hear you. So, all right, he can hear us. Bauer's just going to narrate your answers. Queen Rachel, I see some super chats coming in and a bunch more questions. What do we got?
Yeah, so we've got Lacey Hartman sent $2, and she said she's calling it a heckle. I don't think it's really a heckle, but she said, I love you guys, and I hope you're staying safe. That's the greatest heckle ever.
By the way,
she's in first place. Right now, she's in first place. So she's got the albums unless someone is mean to us. So
you can't get the albums unless you throw in the $5, though. But I would say if you do heckle that way, that would throw me off more than anything else. Like there would be a moment of confusion if someone was like, hey, in this difficult time, I just want to make sure to send love to your family and I hope you're all very safe. Well, shut up. How dare you? Like that would be really difficult.
Oh, that's so mean.
That was I had a heckler in Vegas once, only one really I've ever had, and he was real drunk and he started yelling, "Chaz!" And I was like, "Wait, are you calling me Chaz Bono?" And he was like, "Ha ha!" And I was like,
that is
that's
pretty
really
solid, to be honest.
Oh, it was. And so I just stopped. I literally stopped and I go, "That's really mean, man. Like that kind of hurts. I'm going to think about that tonight when I go to bed. Is that your goal? Does it hurt my feelings? Like I'm just trying to be funny and make everybody laugh, and you're going to come in and be mean to me like that? Like, fuck, dude. I don't even know if I can keep doing comedy." And I kind of stopped, and somebody in the crowd went, "You're great, man. Keep going." And I go, "You want me to keep doing comedy?" The whole crowd cheered. I looked at it, I go, "See, now they hate you and they love me. Shut the fuck up."
It turned out it was actually just a room full of Chaz Bono fans. super supportive. We are going to get.
Will not be the time to say that that is a fairly accurate heckle.
Oh no! That's why I couldn't get away from it. He nailed it. I mean, it was a great heckle. I'm like, "Oh, that's." I mean, I really did think about it. I wasn't joking about that part. Like, it fucking hurt me for a few days.
Yeah, like if someone yelled out and be like, "You look like Usain Bolt," you'd be like, "What?" It's very confusing.
Jamie Kennedy is back.
All right, we got Jamie back. Can we hear your mic,
hear
Jamie?
us?
Son of a bitch.
Jamie, next time that you call in, press use internet audio when it gives you the audio option. Press use internet audio. That'll solve it. If you want to call back in and then do that again.
All right, cool. We're gonna get Jamie back soon. But why don't we have our first stand-up comic perform? Does that work for everybody?
Yes.
Excellent. So the way this works, for those of you in the chat, if you want to tip the comedians, that is how they make money. What you do is you throw in a couple of bucks while they're performing or after. Please specify that it is for them and that it is a tip, and that helps a great deal. So that said, I am so excited. I'm so excited to introduce this next comic. He's someone that users on this channel know very, very well. He's been in a ton of my videos as of late, and our first international guest on this, because location does not limit us anymore on this, because we're all digital here. So ladies and gentlemen, his comedy special, Let's Never Hang Out, is killing it right now. He has also just released a new special called 3 Stripes that he has been releasing on his YouTube. So please go subscribe to him after this if you want to see his special. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Daniel Muggleton, everybody. Dan Muggleton.
Wait, am I supposed to stand? I'm supposed to stand, right?
Yeah, but only if you're still in frame.
Am I still in frame? How far back can I go? I tried to use Bluetooth, but Australia hasn't developed that technology yet. Hello, this is my microphone. I think it's a very professional look. I'm very intimidated by this gig because everybody else has more shit on their walls. I didn't realize the more credits you have in comedy, what times your name is written behind you. It's kind of awkward. I've just got an IKEA flat pack I've yet to assemble. Hello. So I'm in Australia, which is 15 hours in the future, and good news, we've developed a cure. We can finally stop doing this. We're this close to being able to do proper comedy again. But in the meantime, I've decided to shave my facial hair to resemble the anonymous logo, because I figure since we're all living online now, I want to appear to be an ally. Nice. Thank you. Thank you. What a great audience. This is awesome. I do like, it's a great audience because there's no one here, so I can't be infected. Great news. All right. So, goddamn pleasure. Thank you for plugging my special, Steve. It was aired on ABC Comedy in Australia. And the awkward thing is actually more people are watching me right now than have watched Australian TV in the last 5 years. It is not an ideal situation. And yeah, I really didn't plan this, did I? Look at this. The fucking, you can see the tracksuit bottoms aren't on. It's summer here. I'm not committed to the look. All right. So I kind of feel like a coach giving a motivational speech, and I'm slowly lint rolling my goatee. I don't know why I'm moving it closer. Like, that will improve the audio quality. Like, that makes no sense at all. I just keep putting it closer, being like, why isn't this microphone getting louder? Fucking hell. This is actually my audition for Castaway 2. Set on the Gold Coast. It's a great time. You guys should check it out. But no, it's good. I lived in the UK for 2 years, and I moved back to Sydney recently, and I was really worried that, like, you know, it was the wrong decision. So I was looking for a sign. And then I got back to Australia, and my entire country was on fire. That was quickly followed up by a series of floods, and now the world is gripped with a pandemic. At this point, I don't know if climate change is real or Egyptians are keeping Jews trapped. Is it the carbon emissions, or is God trying to get them out? I'm not sure. No, it's good. It's an honor to be back in Australia. One of the weird things, like, thank you. I don't know if any of this audience is international. I think you're all in LA just because you have slightly better teeth. That's the thing that I've noticed so far. But no, it's been good being back in Australia. One of the weird things I didn't realize, I don't know if this is the same with American people. Please don't talk, because this technology is very fragile, apparently. Or else internet connections in America are just as bad in pools as they are in Australia. Anyway, so basically, one of the weird things in the UK is, like, I didn't know this. British people are actually afraid of, like, snakes and spiders and sharks in Australia. Like, they're actually terrified of that. It's not just a rumor. Like, is that the same in America? Are you guys afraid about wildlife?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh man, that's so weird. Like, it just, I mean, I get it from the perspective of, like, Americans, you guys have proper spiders, but if you guys have ever seen an English spider, like, it's tiny, it's minuscule. Like, it just kind of crawls up to you. And it's like, hey, man, you afraid? And it's like, no, I can't. I'll bite you, right? Like, come on. I'm on top of that. Like, I will end a British spider, right? I'm more venomous just based on the alcohol consumption than any British spider, right? Like, I'm not afraid of that at all. And I think with, like, snakes and spiders, they haven't killed anybody since, like, the 80s, right? And, like, sharks, yeah, they get someone every now and again, but it's a surfer. Or to lose a surfer every now and again. They're not propping up the economy, right? When a surfer dies, the only thing that happens is Jack Johnson loses a sail, right? Who gives a shit? So weird to be saying this at 11:22 a.m. No, so that's the thing, like, we're not afraid at all. And then so British people are like, okay, so if you guys aren't afraid of the wildlife, what are you afraid of then? Like, what are Australian people afraid of? And I'm like, oh, it's simple, Muslims, right? Like, they're terrified of Muslims. But the weird thing is, we give each other the same advice. We're like, don't worry, they're more afraid of you than you are of them. Thank you, I'm so glad this is being recorded forever. That's awesome. It's nice. It's always nice to get cancelled in the internet era. Gotta appreciate that. But is that my time?
Can be if you
that's
want
up
it
to you.
I don't know. I didn't see the light. Can somebody tell the sound tech to flash me if this is the end of the game? No, I mean, I'm quite happy with that, because I'm leaning over awkwardly and I still haven't received a hug. You know what I mean? This is like an inspirational father posture, and it makes me feel uncomfortable. But Jesus Christ, look at how white those walls are. Where's my fucking name? I'm going to write it down on something. Just hold it next to me so people think I've been in a movie. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, Daniel Muggleton, everybody. Daniel Muggleton. Trademark half tracksuit this time.
That's true.
So very glad you joined us there, Daniel. It is early in the morning there. It's 11 a.m. there. What is the earliest gig you've ever done?
This might be it, but like with Edinburgh Fringe in the UK, like comedy happens like 10. Like, there's shows on, but they're usually kid shows, and I don't know if you could tell by the material, but not particularly appropriate for me. Yeah, kids don't really enjoy political commentary as much as I thought they would.
Rachel, do we have any super chats or any questions coming in for Daniel?
We did. We had quite a few. So
I fucking hope so after that shit. Oh my God.
Rhonda Van Landingham sent $5 and said, "Do you only wear red tracksuits?"
No, I have 5 tracksuits that I rotate. I wear the tracksuit reflective of the terror level that day. So today is a red day.
I'm like that with tuxedo jackets. I'm the same exact way with tuxedo jackets. That's why I'm actually red today.
Yeah. I bought Daniel one of his tracksuits because on our Europe trip, things are going really well. And I was like, hey, I appreciate you being support for the show. I'm going to give you a tip at the end. And he goes, can I just get a tracksuit? And I was like, well, how much are tracksuits? You know, because I'm an adult and I don't know. And
you're an adult who's not an athlete, which is why you don't know.
Yeah, that's true.
Ooh, $5 heckle.
And Daniel was like, well, they're about $150. And I was like, can we get you one in Poland where the dollar goes further? And he was like, absolutely. So that's what we did. So what else, Rachel, what else do we have?
Yeah, so we've got quite a few. We've got, let's see. Crystal No One donated. Z Bunster gave $20 and said, I've been loving Dan on Steve's Patreon clips. This is great.
You know, the $20 US is $40 Australian. Fucking yes.
Daniel's going to come away from this better than any other comic because he gets to get paid in US for this. So we're actually going to convert it to Australian and keep the difference, Daniel.
Please just don't tell your government I'm working in your country. I'll never get in again. Afraid of them.
You got an E-green card?
Yeah.
An E-green card.
I have a tracksuit related question. I'm always curious when people choose a thing for the stage. How did you choose tracksuits, and how did you know like that's all I need ever for my vibe, and you plan to ever change it?
I lived in the UK and was trying to fit in. This is actually like quite a respectable parental getup in the UK. If you're from the north, which is the same as your south. I know, reverse it. But yeah, I just liked it because it was comfortable. Like, I don't know if you know this, but I used to wear skinny jeans because I'm a disgusting hipster, and my balls have never felt better. This is lovely freedom. Americans, I know you guys love freedom. You should use a tracksuit more often. I promise you.
Our video chat audience member just typed into us, Running Wild said, you say not getting back into the U.S. like that's a bad thing.
It is a bad thing. Did you just hear how the currency converts? Come on, dude. 2 for 1. I want to work for tips. I hate wages. All right, give me some goddamn tips.
Rachel, what else we got in the super chat?
Yep. So we have Dr. Sherwood Tucker sent $25 to Daniel. And
Dr. Sherwood Tucker?
Your teeth joke. He said, see your dentist. You need new dentures.
Oh, and I see this. It says Dr. Sherwood Tucker DDS. He's plugging his practice in it. That's awesome.
He is.
Oh wow, that's so hurtful. I got a tooth heckle. What the fuck? I'm not a part of the competition.
So far that's the leading heckle. That's a solid one. It relates
to add insult to injury in our chat here on the video, Jarret Berenstein just said $150 for a tracksuit. That's an expensive way to look broke.
How dare you?
Getting heckled by one of the other comedians. Nicely done.
Talking about looking broke while wearing a hoodie? Shut up.
That's fair.
All right, Rachel, we got a couple more, it looks like.
We did. Rebel sent $10. Tom Garnham sent $5 and said, Daniel, can we see your ABC special on iView?
Not at the moment. I'm going to email them tomorrow because Australia is such a small place. I literally have the email for our national broadcaster. And they're like, seriously, people have nothing to do. Just put it back up. Come on. It costs you nothing. Just do it. Yeah, it'll be back there soon, I think.
Yeah, but you do have how many? Because 3 stripes from 3 segments. How many of the segments are up on your YouTube right now?
All parts are out now. Part 3 got up there, uploaded yesterday. So 43 minutes, guys. I can give you 43 minutes worth of entertainment, which is slightly less than an episode of Suits. Pretty good. Pretty good.
Tracksuits. I see a spinoff, an Australian spinoff. There are 2 lawyers wear tracksuits.
There's 3 minutes less of it. There's 3 minutes less of it because it's an ad for a tracksuit. That's the whole reason they have the show. We see
quickly to our audience member, our video audience member, Running Wild, who was just stroking the most incredible beard I've ever seen in my life. Please cut to that video. It is the most incredible beard you will ever see in your life.
Solid beard.
Look at that beard.
That is, in fact, Running Wild. That is Running Wild. He is on brand.
Can somebody ask that wizard to cure Corona for us?
Never expect
days
someone
ago
who
he
looks
was
like that
clean
to have
shaven.
the internet.
It's almost as wild as Jamie Kennedy's hair from the back.
All right.
All right, I want to get to let's get through the couple more super chats that have come in because we're going to do another set soon. Brandon Brock just threw in $5 and asked, can we have a recreation of the fight? For those who do not know what he's talking about, Daniel and I were performing in Northampton in England, and there was a crazy fight that happened post-show. The argument started during the show, and the guy waited an hour before he tried to attack the guy. It's an insane clip. We have Tarantino-style editing on the video to recreate the whole story if you guys want to go see that. Savannah Martin threw in $5. And, continuing with the bit from yesterday, this is great. Says, Dan, this is a question for Dan. You tweeted on July 7th, 2017 from your couch with only one sock and 4 plates in the sink that and then it got cut off. What happened?
You're telling me there's a cliffhanger tweet?
There's a cliffhanger. We have a cliffhanger super chat. We know what's going on. And Crystal Noon threw in an extra $2. Jay Simpson threw in $2 and said, got braids in your hair. You got braids down there. I don't know who that's for because none of us have braids.
That's me.
That's for Jamie.
Hello, Bo's most wanted. Come on, Steve.
I'm sorry, I don't know all the quotes. I apologize.
Do you, Jamie, have braids down there?
Shaved for the apocalypse.
To respect the apocalypse, because a lot of people are going non-shaven.
I know, but the beard, dude, go against it right now.
Also,
like
he's swimming. I mean, he's swimming. He needs it for the resistance.
That's a good point. You're not going Mark Spitz style where you don't care about you have a mustache growing and you buck the odds with your skill. You want every competitive advantage you can have when it comes to your ball hair.
Yeah, you want to be nice and fucking smooth. Get out of here in case more things happen.
So when it comes to downstairs for you, you go peanut butter classic style, smooth,
right?
Cream. You don't.
Ben, I need you to rewrite my jokes right now, like you did on that game show for me.
Kennedy and I did a few episodes of the show Punchline together on Fox. That was a good time.
Yeah. Did it get picked up?
I do not know. They haven't called me, but also the world's ending, so maybe it's
I know.
their agenda.
Yeah, they also have not called me, so I'm going to assume it didn't get picked up. Otherwise, that's very hurtful.
I would like to make an announcement that anything I make from this podcast right now, I'm donating to the fund for young comics. I want to put it in that, and any merch you guys want, I'm down to give.
Oh, I love that.
Awesome.
Thank you, very cool.
That's great.
Amazing.
There's a good article today in the LA Times about the community and how, it's really the people that keep it going, the servers, the valet parkers, the young comics, and everybody, how they're getting hit. So I want to start that fund right here. So
yeah, that's awesome. There's also
Thank you, man.
There's a number of comedians who, because of that fund, that will actually be the first time they get paid for comedy.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's I think that was a joke, guys. Holy shit.
Yeah.
You guys were like, yeah, that's really sweet. That's really I'm making fun. All right.
We like that. Steve likes to bring the cast to a screaming halt.
Yes.
Yeah, that's my goal.
Steve, do you have any more jokes about how both the world is ending and Canadians don't have work and can't afford food?
Give me a minute. I'll get there. And by the way, Nick N just threw in $1 on Venmo. Much appreciated, Nick. And so we're raising more money. Super chats keep coming in. We'll get to more of them in a second. But can we get to our next comic now?
Yeah, I think we should.
Before that, please don't forget to heckle us in the comments in the super chat. We will read all $5 or more super chat heckles. You'll win the best one wins the prize of all of our comedy albums. But you can just heckle us for free, too, if you want.
Yeah, that's totally cool, too. All right, so Chris Bowers, will you do the honors? Introduce our second comic of the evening.
All right, coming next is a really great comic. I met him a few years ago when he played my club in Indianapolis. It was super funny. He's been on Comedy Central and Conan and has a show on Adult Swim. It was very funny. Ahmed Bharoocha, everybody. Give Ahmed a big hand.
Hey, how's it going? I have a brush, different. Thanks for having me, guys. This is fun. Nice to do something in my house. I'm a father. I'm a father of a baby, not at a church or something. He's pretty cool so far. Hasn't said much. Could be racist. We'll find out. I love being a father. I was excited to have a baby. I love babies. I love babies because all you got to do is make a silly face at them, and then they're your friends, right? That's awesome. I wish we could do that as adults. We lose that as we get older, you know? Like, I wish you could just go to the gym, see a cool guy in the gym just working out, you know, and you just look over and you're just like, la, 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 la. He's just working out and he looks over and you're like, "Ga, ga, 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 ga." And he's like, who's this guy? I like your hair. Let me see your keys. Yeah, a lot of fathers will take too much pride in the size of their son's penis, right? You get the ultrasound, they're like, hey, look at this thing, check out this thing, look at this thing. It's all right, calm down. You know that's not your penis, right? You don't get to use that penis. It doesn't change the size of your tiny penis. You can't add it to the end of your penis. Pathetic to have your self-esteem reside in the size of your son's penis, right? But then my son was born. Started peeing through all his diapers. We took him to the doctor, said, hey, something wrong with these diapers. The doctor said, no, your son has a longer than normal penis. And I was like, it's not bigger than my penis, is it? Give me some of those diapers. I'll pee through those diapers. Through those diapers. Couldn't do it. Very absorbent. Bombo diapers. Check them out. Of course, it looks big on him. He's got a little baby body, right? Put my name in it. When you have a son, you have to decide if you want to circumcise him or not. I don't want to do it. I'm circumcised, but I thought it was unnecessary. People got really mad at me. People are still really pro-circumcision. Main argument, people are like, it's cleaner, it's cleaner. I was like, how about we try some soap and water first? Before we just start chopping things off people's bodies. Like, ew, the butt's gross. Get it out of there. People are like, don't worry, he's not going to remember. He's not going to remember. It's like, yeah, he's a baby. He's not going to remember anything. Doesn't mean I should do it. I could stab him in the leg. He's not going to remember it. 2 years, do whatever you want, no memory. But then the weirdest argument I kept getting from multiple people who knew I was circumcised would be like, well, don't you want your penis and your son's penis to match? Like, what kind of fucked up father-son pageant I think we're entering into? Where it's like, hello, my baby. Hello, my darling. Hello, my right. Those penises are so similar. Same barber. I'm trying to show my son the classics. Right now, he's really into Pinocchio. And I used to think that was a movie about a little wooden boy who learns not to lie. But that's a movie about a child who can't stop getting kidnapped. Just keeps getting kidnapped the whole movie. It's just a series of kidnappings, just one kidnapping into the other. At one point in the movie, like 250 little boys are transformed into donkeys and sold into slave labor. And then that's never addressed again in the movie. They just move on. It's just a plot point that's forgotten. At the end of the movie, they're like, oh, Pinocchio, you're a real boy. It's like, what about the donkey children? The donkey boys. They're still out there moving coal or something in a mine. Then I realized there's something wrong with my son because his favorite character in the whole movie is the whale that's trying to murder Pinocchio. He doesn't even call the movie Pinocchio. I'm like, hey, what do you want to watch? He's like, Monstro the Whale. You know the name of the whale? I think he's rooting for the whale. He's just like, give him another shot, Dad. I think he'll rip this puppet's head off. Me and my wife were trying to have another baby. We're thinking about having a girl. So we looked online for some tips on how to have a girl. Tip number 1, the woman should not orgasm. No problem there. Petty on that one. Tip number 2, Sex should be frequent and brief. Double check. Tip number 3: deep penetration is not advised. That's a hat trick for me right there. I'm a triple threat. Is what you call that. I'll leave you guys with one more thing. I was on the old internet and I stumbled upon some of that pornography everyone's been talking about on accident. And I found this porn. Starts out old guy in a bed. He was old enough where if he was going to be involved in the porn, they'd have to warn you in the title, but they didn't, so I kept watching. Old in a bed. Then his maid walks in, dressed very inappropriately, like should have been sent home from work, not proper work attire, missing some parts. Then she says the one line of dialogue that all porns have to set up a plot, but it just makes it more obvious how little about life the writer knows. The maid walked in and she's like, "Your pills are almost ready." Then the oven was going with those pills. Maids don't make pills, just give them the pills. Then the butler walks in, not your typical butler, spiky hair and muscles, so you know something's going down. It does. Maid and butler start having sex. If you haven't seen porn, that's normal. That happens a lot. But in this porn, the whole time in the background is still the old guy in the bed just going, "Help! Help me! I'm dying!" Like, who the fuck is this for? Whose fantasy is that? Who gets off to the neglect of the elderly? Are there people just jerking off to Life Alert commercials? Help! I've fallen and I can't get up. I can. Took off a little bit higher than normal. It's down here, but thank you. That's my set. Thank you.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Much appreciated.
Nice.
So, I just want to encourage people, obviously, if you enjoyed Daniel's set, if you enjoyed Ahmed's set, if you are going to enjoy Jarret's set, he'll come up a little bit later. Please make sure to tip. When you tip, you can specify to give it to a specific comic. You can specify it's just for the show or just in general, etc. But tipping is how these comedians are making money right now. So please make sure to throw in a couple bucks and help them out. That said, Rachel, do we have any?
That's a quick question. I wanted to make sure we plug Ahmed's social media.
Yes.
Oh yeah, it's just my name, Ahmed Bharoocha, Ahmed Bharoocha on everything.
Oh, that's
so.
easy.
What was your name before you chose that as your stage name?
It was just Tom Brown. Tom Brown.
Hey, you know what? I love
think-
Ahmed did this. Did Ahmed do this at one point during the set? He goes, "Yeah. What else?" On the live stream, I love it.
Ahmed, I think Donkey Boy sounds like a new Jamie Kennedy movie, doesn't it? I think Jamie Kennedy,
Sure, I'd love to be a part of that.
make $100 million on Donkey Boy.
Yeah.
Going straight to Redbox.
Jamie's donkey is going to lead all the other donkey boys to freedom. It's a sequel to Pinocchio. It's what happened to them afterward.
I'd like to make an announcement. All the proceeds from Donkey Boy, I'm going to donate to the Young Comics.
Look, I didn't get a chance to say this before, but we really appreciate it, man. I like that. Thank you for giving me some money. I appreciate it.
No, dude. All you guys, man. Fuck yeah.
Yeah. So speaking of that, Rachel, what do we got in the chat?
Yeah, so Seal Man just made a comment. He said, "That's a nice brush. Why don't you brush your hair with it?"
Shit.
It's my wife's brush. I think I've used a brush in like 20 years, probably.
Yeah, we believe that. No one's thinking that's a lot.
And this is tamped down because of the headphones. It's normally higher.
Ahmed, you're trying to have a baby during the apocalypse, or it's already in progress?
We already have one, but now that we're out of the apocalypse, there's been a lot of free time.
Yeah.
It's
You may want to, I don't know.
well, if we make it out of it and we got a new baby, well, we might have to start over the population.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's true.
You guys, we're gonna get to the super chats. There's plenty more in a second that we got to get to, but real quick, Jim Lenart threw in $5 on Venmo and said, "Bowers, show us the shoes." Bowers, do you have fancy shoes with that tux?
I'm not in shoes. I'm actually in. No, what's great is I am in basketball shorts like everybody else. I just am fancy on the top, so I've got. I don't have the. Normally I would have sparkly ass shoes on if we were outside, but I did not go the whole way of the whole outfit. So sorry, Jim.
By the way, can I just add that $5 was the cheapest anyone has ever paid on the internet to see someone's feet.
And may I add, what a perfect reveal of the bullshit fakeness of this business we have all chosen. Shorts and feet on the bottom.
Yeah. No, Ben, I'm actually wearing suit pants underneath this robe from the bottom down.
Oddly enough, they match Bowers' tux perfectly. So
I think we've noticed Jamie Kennedy pays a lot more attention to the bottom half of his body.
Best tackle.
The album.
All right,
I win the album.
we got some more. We got some more coming in. So we have Jim Lenart threw in another $5 and said, "Too bad there's no 2-drink minimum for us at home to make you guys funnier." Response to that is you are literally at home. If you have no alcohol there, you shouldn't be giving us your last $5.
I love Jim Lair better on the News Hour before he passed away, sadly.
What?
Political commentator, slam.
It's a different last name than that guy. Okay, moving on.
Is it only Australian houses that have a 2-drink minimum? Is that?
So that's why you guys aren't afraid of sharks. You're all wasted. So, and then we also, so that's it for the Venmos right now. We'll go back to the super chats in a second. But real quick, just want to throw this. We don't know an episode yet, but just got a tweet from George Wallace, the legendary comedian George Wallace. He wants to do the show. So,
and guys along those lines, Steve, we also have coming up, I don't know if all the dates are set, but we have Greg Proops coming up, Christopher Titus coming up.
We've got
some incredible people joining us here at the Social Distancing Social Club. So if you miss these, you're making a really bad mistake when there's nothing else to do. How bad are you at getting things done in your life?
They're like, I don't know. I've really been meaning to empty this box. So
is that what you call sex, Steve?
No, that's filling a box, Bowers. You've been doing it wrong.
I play the notes that aren't there.
And
you dress like it.
Yeah. The other people who say that are the Grateful Dead, which is also a great description of your sex life. So didn't even have to pay $5 for that one. Rachel, what else do we have in the super chat?
Dead, that guy that just made the comment from the PBS News Hour.
Queen Rachel, what do we got?
So we've got Savannah Martin gave $5. Rebel gave 10. Rhonda Vanningham sent $2. Kat V $5 and said peanut butter jam sandwiches, pancakes and ham, red radishes. Heaven knows anything goes.
I'm wondering if that's just she's just got her shopping list that she couldn't get to because the stores are all. It's like, can anyone send me radishes, please?
If you're in food, if you're like in food marketing, go to the store right now. Anything still on the shelves, stop making. No one wants that shit. If there's anything in the grocery store left, no one wants your broccoli crust pizza, man. Just stop doing it. Stop trying to
whatever doesn't run out in a pandemic should tell you something for sure. Rachel, what else we got?
Yep, and then we had let's see, Razor sent in $5 and said it was quite long. He goes, "This is on behalf of Donkey Boy, but only if you do Carlos Mencia jokes for him. Pause for uncontrollable laughter, which would be your jokes anyway."
That is awesome. So we're gonna have Mencia cameo in Donkey Boy. Is that what's gonna happen?
Yes. He plays all the donkeys.
Yeah. And we
By
also
the way,
just
right
saw.
after the stream today, sorry to cut you off, Steve, but right after this stream, Carlos Mencia will be doing the exact same stream.
In Donkey Boy, as the donkey, he's just going to do Eddie Murphy's donkey from Shrek. That's
I'm just glad Carlos's shows didn't have to get canceled with that 10-person limit. So Shannon Stovall threw in $5 and said, "Love y'all, Steve. Love y'all. I saw Steve in Denver, and it was one of the best nights ever. Helped with my Edness," which, by the way, I very much appreciate. I talk about that in my book. Edness is eating disorder not otherwise specified, and stay strong. It's obviously going to be difficult in these times. Bowers has an eating disorder, and it's just that he does not like fruits or vegetables. It's not recognized by the medical community, but having frozen pizza for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, I think, is a bit of a disorder.
I literally have more food in my house right now than I ever have in the history of my life. Like, usually my fridge is just beer and maybe 4 or 5 hot dogs and half a bottle of ketchup, and now I've got almost all hot dogs and 2 bottles of ketchup.
Bowers' first question was, this thing set in, was, is it okay to freeze Burger King?
Bowers, have you ever checked your cholesterol?
Yeah, what's crazy is my cholesterol is 117. It's actually too low. My doctor told me I need more red meat for some reason. I don't know what's going on.
Well, that's because you're only eating frozen pizza.
I guess. I haven't had a fruit or vegetable since 1996, so I'm ready for this.
I love that you know the streak. Also, Gabriel Mag threw in $2 and said, "Glad I didn't miss tonight. Glebe Squad represent." Glebe, that's one of yours.
Glebe Squad for life. Love that. Big
Gleib 2024.
That reminds me. Here's a new tip for what we've been doing this whole week, and this is really the key to staying sane in this. Is you got to find some people that you FaceTime every night or you hang out with, and after a couple minutes you forget you're on FaceTime. Kind of like comics are worried about doing stand up here, but once you kind of get doing it, it feels natural. And so we decided last night that you just need to find your quarantine. That's what we're going with.
Yeah.
Find your quarantine, and you'll be all right. That's my point.
Excellent. So hopefully you guys have the ability to make friends. Which, I've seen some of the YouTube comments. Not everybody does. So
especially not if you're wearing that on a t-shirt.
We're gonna make quarantine t-shirts. That would be the problem is you can't order them because you'll get the virus from the delivery. So now I think we're gonna go to our third comic of the evening. What do you guys think?
Yeah.
Do it.
Woo!
Excellent. I will introduce him because he is another one of the people that I tour with regularly. If you've watched my YouTube channel, you've seen him in a number of my videos. He is in the Rachel Hackler video, different Rachel, not Queen Rachel, but bad Rachel. He starts out that video, so my fans know him and love him. He is hilarious. Also, he has a book out that is absolutely fantastic called The Kellyanne Conway Technique, which is a very, very funny book. Please give it up for Mr. Jarret Berenstein, everybody. Jarret Berenstein.
Thank you so much, everybody. I don't have a hairbrush to talk into because I'm a professional. I also, Daniel was talking about being, a little self-conscious about not having anything on his walls, like not having his name behind him. And I 100% felt that also. So I just wanted to for everybody. And just thanks so much for having me on these shows. I've always wanted to do stand-up naked from the waist down. I'm honored to be here and to have booked the Saturday show, like the weekend show. I know that all these days are like kind of like they all kind of mend together. And I know we've been quarantined for a while, so if anybody's confused by that, so a weekend used to be this thing that like when you how people don't have like offices to go to anymore. That used to be just like 2 days of that. That's what a weekend was. Also, speaking of things that existed before coronavirus, you guys remember this used to be this thing called airlines, and So Delta Airlines had a Facebook page, and they got hacked. This is a real thing. And what the hacker did on Delta's Facebook page was they posted a funny article called 10 Reasons Why Girls Don't Give Blowjobs. And I actually have a screenshot for you guys. I'm just going to show you here. This is what the hacker put on. 10 Reasons That Girls Don't Give Blowjobs. You see that? Looks good. Yeah.
Oh.
And so, here's the thing. Delta, they found it out. They looked at it. They apologized. They took it down. But I think that's a mistake because I zoomed in a little bit for you guys. People actually liked that article on Delta's page. It had 117 people liked it. I don't know if you guys can see that. It's like, Delta, are you willing to tell me that whatever nonsense, boring travel articles you're putting on your Facebook page usually get more than 100 likes? I don't think so. I think you should have been the first company to own this. When a hacker posts on your Facebook page 10 reasons why girls don't give blowjobs, be like, all right, yeah, number one reason, you didn't fly Delta. Part of our mission statement ever since we started, Delta Airlines, she'll go down, we won't. So I did a little while ago when airlines were still a thing. I did have a very good experience with Delta. I know that doesn't sound real, but I booked a flight that I had booked on the wrong day, so I had to call up and ask to change it. And they charge you a lot of money for that. So the woman on the phone was like, "Yes, Mr. Berenstein, we can change your flight for you, but there's a $200 fee to change your ticket." So I said to her, "Would it be okay if I don't pay that?" And I swear to God, this is true. She goes, "Let me check." I was on hold for a second. And then when she came back, again, 100% true, she goes, "Okay, we're going to waive that for you." And I was like, that can't be your policy. That can't be your policy. Your policy can't be that it's a $200 fee unless you ask not to pay it. That can't be your policy. Wait, let me ask you this. How much to bump me up to first class? She goes, $1,300 and no. I have not been sleeping well since all of this stuff happened. I actually sent my doctor a message asking if I could get a prescription for Ambien to help with my sleep problems, and my doctor sent me a message back saying that before I try Ambien, that I should first try jerking off in my living room. That was my doctor's advice for curing my insomnia. He told me to try jerking off. He didn't phrase it that way. He said I shouldn't use my computer in bed. But that's basically the same as telling me to jerk off in my living room. So I sent him a message back. I was like, I don't think my roommate's going to like that, but give it a shot. I'll give it a try. And I was right. My roommate did not care for that. Another thing I've been doing since all this business has been going on, I've been getting into a lot of fights with strangers on Facebook. And I don't usually get into a lot of fights when I'm not on Facebook. I've only been in one fight in person. And that is one time I was at a bar and this dude was telling me this super personal story about how he had beaten cancer by having a testicle removed. And I was like, dude, you did not beat cancer by having a testicle removed. You got a testicle removed. That's a tie. So that's the only fight that I got into. On Facebook, I got into a lot of political fights, and I don't recommend it, but I did figure out how to win all those fights. So if you guys do get into fights with people on Facebook and you want to win all those fights, here's what you do. You find someone you disagree with, you go on their Facebook, you start the fight and just really rile them up, just argue, back and forth until it's 50 comments deep, 60 comments deep. And then you delete all your comments. Comments that are left over. He's just having a psychotic argument with nobody. Football going, "You're a fucking asshole, you know that?" And his friends are like, "Who are you talking to, dude?" And you win the fight. All right, I think that's my time. Jarret Berenstein, thanks so much for having me, guys. Take care.
Jarret, where can people find out more about you? Plug your stuff. What do you got?
JarretBerenstein.com is my website. Jarret Berenstein on most of my social, except for Twitter, where I am Just Jarret, JUSTJARRET. And yeah, get involved. I'm posting a lot of stuff on TikTok and Instagram and stuff now that I'm never leaving my apartment.
Jarret's TikTok, by the way, is awesome. If you are someone who uses the word libtard unironically, though, you probably won't enjoy it. But Jarret's TikTok is great. The tip jar is open. If you guys want to throw in a couple of bucks, whether it is you can Venmo us. Our Venmo is on the screen top right, or of course you can just super chat. That money will go to our comedians if you specify who it's for, or you just donate to the show in general. That kind of money keeps us running, keeps the lights on, as they say, as long as we still have power companies. So, Rachel, do we have anything?
Yeah, so Crystal Newen tipped and said, "We love to laugh." Mary in Illinois gave $20 and said, "Thanks for being you."
The fun emoji, too. I just saw it.
Yeah, it
was
was cute.
Dancing hair guy.
Yeah. Celia Lovett earlier gave $10, said, "Hi and thanks. I'm sad and you guys helped. Take care all." Adam Meisenheimer, $5 and said, "How dare you people help in a difficult time? If you're not insider trading or exploiting, what are you even doing?"
Pretty solid heckle right there.
Hey, Jarret, I have a question for you. How's your last name pronounced?
Berenstein.
See, when I was a kid, I'm sure it was Berenstain. What's that?
I see what you did there.
So there's also a couple others that I saw. Comic Quirks threw in $2 and said for Jamie because fuck that guy, and then wrote in parentheses hi, love him. So I don't know, that's some weird like Ike Turner shit going on. Some back and forth there. And then Rhonda Van Landingham said threw in $2 and said for Ahmed, it's Van Landingham, no worries. And did we miss any? I think we caught up on the super chats, right? Oh, and Celia Lovett just threw in $20 or $10. And I'm very curious what this is. A Quaker girl who called a mansplaining French guy Eurotrash because he always wore a red scarf and black leather jacket in 90-degree weather. Honestly, one of the best moments of my adult life. I wonder if that is that for Bowers?
What happened?
It's not a scarf. That's just a tux.
What did I mansplain?
I'm very curious. No, you didn't mansplain. It was I think it just reminded her of it. I'm not sure. And Rhonda just threw in another $5, says it's for Jarret. And Shonda Peterson threw in $20 and said goal. Oh, but it's Canadian, so it's almost
Hey,
still more than Australia.
Give it to me. Come on, good exchange rate. Give it to me.
Yeah.
I love it. I'll buy a shed. Come on.
Yeah, Canadian still is worth more. Did Australian drop more than New Zealand, or is it
man, honestly, like no one's heard from New Zealand in weeks. We're not sure what's going on down there. It's a real issue.
they just did New Zealand ghost Australia?
Nobody has corona there, and they're just like, if we're just quiet, maybe they'll ignore us. They'll forget that we exist.
Yeah.
We are a series of islands.
They're actually going to throw a bat into.
It's the last chance for everybody to heckle us in the comments, in the super chat. If you heckle us super chat, $5 or more, the best heckle gets all of our CDs of the hosts. And also, I love you guys.
Okay, well that was very sweet. Ben didn't forget his train of thought. He was always going to say he loved you guys. That was not an ad lib. That was not a clear cover up. By the way, a couple more. Revel threw another $10 and says, "Now I'm disappointed you're not picking fights with us in the chat, or a reverse heckle, if you will." No, Ben just said we love you guys. Sally threw in $10 and said, "Yeah, Jarret, saw him in Boston a few months ago. It's fun to see him live again." And then Savannah has
That's a good heckle. That's probably my favorite heckle. So.
Oh god. And then Savannah Martin threw in another $10 and says, "Jarret, what are your favorite type of pants to wear?"
My favorite type of pants to wear?
Yeah.
Well, pajama pants, number one. I tend to even if I'm going out again, I will change back into pajama pants as soon as I get home. And then I have one pair of jeans that I have as my outside clothes. But I got a very impressive pajama pant collection, more than any human being actually needs.
That's your pajama pants.
Yeah. What's up, Ben?
Jarret, I love how you hold your microphone like Sinatra held a glass of whiskey. That's cool.
Yeah. Thank you, doll. Somebody get me a soda.
By the way, we're also just checking. We've heard a comment that the live stream froze. Queen Rachel or Taylor, if you can chime in and make sure it did not. That would be awesome. But I seem to be able to still see it. And then
yeah, it looks good from my end.
4x4 Club throws in $10 and says, "Taps foot waiting for Steve to tell a joke. Your foot's gonna be tired." That ain't my job. I'm the host, motherfucker. No, I will at some point. All three of the hosts will at some point be performing stand-up on this show. We will announce
Tuesday.
So Ben is doing it Tuesday, and I'm going to see how that goes before I decide whether or not I want to do it. But yeah, all three of us will be performing stand-up on this show. I will be performing not stuff you've seen before, but stuff from the tour I was supposed to be on right now. And so we'll be doing that in the future, so your foot can stop tapping at that point. And that said, obviously we could throw in some more Venmo, some more super chats. There's more coming in. Martin Gable throws in $10 to take a shot at me. It says, hey, at least the Mets aren't alone in the cellar. Go Braves. Hey, the Mets are going to be undefeated in April. I don't know if you know that, but they ain't losing a game. So, Tom Gannam threw in $5 Australian. I guess we'll count that as $5 toward the heckle. And says, Dan ScoMo, Scott Morrison, for our non-Australian folks, the Prime Minister, says, just announced relief for soul traders. Is that you?
No. Look, I don't know. Like, you know how like you're supposed to pay tax? I don't really know what's going on there. I've just kind of let it ride and hope that the government assumes that if you're wearing a tracksuit professionally, you can't fill out a form. You know,
Yeah.
like, I figure
all you
that's
do
a pretty
is
good defense.
You just instead of filling out your tax form, you just send a picture of you in a tracksuit, and they're like, "Yeah, we shouldn't bother with this."
Yeah, while holding the lint roller, obviously.
I have a couple questions for Jamie Kennedy, real quick.
Yeah. Okay. I had a question. Okay, go ahead.
Oh, you have a question? Go ahead, Jamie.
Well, I had I call bullshit on Daniel being Australian in a tracksuit because I think I just saw him in Silver Lake in Intelligentsia Coffee. I swear. I see you this morning.
Is that a hipster neighborhood?
Oh, Jesus Christ, Daniel. You are the man. You're the poster boy right now for it.
He's laying it on.
I'm actually like this is an attempt for me to gentrify the tracksuit. I want to make it more expensive and get it out of ghettos. You know what I'm saying?
Way too expensive.
The worst part is, and I've toured with Dan a bunch, and like Dan would fit in perfectly in Silver Lake, but he wouldn't be able to afford it. So
My questions for you, Jamie.
Yes, sir, Ben.
My questions are two questions. Do you prefer stand-up or acting, and why? And then also, what's been your favorite movie or project you've worked on, and tell us a little bit about why.
Wow, those are good questions. I think a lot of people don't realize that I started as a stand-up. And then I got more success as an actor, but through stand-up, remember back in the day, Ben, I don't know if you remember this, when the clubs used to have like showcase nights, casting directors would come out and stuff. And so that's kind of how I started. So they're both different things, but obviously I think stand-up is harder because you have to create all the time, and then you have to be able to put the best stuff. You live or die right there in that moment, as you know, you can do many takes in a movie or TV. So, but I do love acting, but I really do love stand-up, and it's afforded me to go around and see a lot of places. It's been amazing. And then in terms of movies, I would say Three Kings was a pretty interesting movie. That was
so good.
It was an underrated one, and it was ahead of its time, I would like to say, in a way.
What about the experience did you love so much?
Well, it's just always the best people are the most chillest. You know what I mean? So if you like the movie, well, a lot of the movie was improvised. I mean, not all, that's not true to say, I'm sorry, but meaning that Nora Dunn and me got to improvise a lot. And, you know, David O. Russell is such a talented writer, such a talented director, but he also, what do you got? What else you got? What else you got? You know, and he's like, oh, that guy had a good idea. What about, and he's open-minded. And I find like the best people I've worked with are the ones that are open to trying things. And that's what I think people don't realize. And that's what I love is about, because it's all just trying, right? So that was, I don't think people realize that, how open-minded the great ones are.
Yeah, I love that. That's cool because you think of them as like auteurs that have this direct vision and you can't ever deviate. It's nice to know that they're confident enough to let you do your thing.
Yeah, you know what? The most fucking direction I ever got is a movie I did with William LeGros. What's up, William? Good to see you. And it was in 1997. It went straight to fucking Pakistan Redbox. And like I couldn't ad-lib one fucking line. I don't know where that movie is. I mean, so you know how it is.
I also love that Jamie was like, hey, you remember when comedy clubs did showcases? We're like, yeah, it's been a week, Jamie. It's only been a week.
No, I mean, they would have like fucking new talent night, but now it's like, you know, every night it's like the Avengers out there. I mean, every night.
It is so cool when you get a chance to improvise on big projects. I have a cool little story about that. So I got to do a fair amount of improv in the two big animated movies I got to do. I was in Ice Age, Continental Drift. I went in an audition and I improvised.
No reason to brag, Ben. No reason to brag.
I improvised some lines in my audition and they wrote them into the script and had me repeat those improvs in the movie. And then I did the Book of Life and I improvised some lines and they liked it. So they hired me to come in to punch up the whole movie. And so I'm sitting there doing punch up with Gabriel Iglesias and Cheech Marin. And
wow.
It was the coolest thing ever. So during lunch break, I go to my car and I smoke some pot. I'm like, I got to get on Cheech's level. I'm sure and I come back from lunch and I go up to Cheech before we start and I go, Cheech, I just smoked a little weed in my car. And he goes, for work? I could never do that, man.
By the way, very similarly, when I was in one scene in a Hallmark movie, I mean, I got to. That's the pinnacle of my career. So I have no stories that relate to that.
Did they let you improvise at all during that?
They did let me improvise a great deal. They cut most of it out, but they did let me improvise all the stuff that they cut out. So I think I was really proud of being allowed to say things they didn't end up using.
Steve was like, "Can I also murder somebody?" And they're like, "The mailman."
No, this was a Hallmark Christmas movie, not a Lifetime movie. Damn it, get your shit together.
Got it.
I was only in movies. Oh. I was only in movies my uncle made. He wouldn't let me improvise shit.
Now, was sitting on his lap on film technically a movie, or?
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, there was a script.
Well, I mean, you didn't have many lines. Your mouth was full. But going to the super chat, Jose Laura threw in $2.
What rating is this live stream?
It's X now.
Yeah.
When are we starting?
NC-17 for COVID-19.
Is this rehearsal?
Yeah. When do we start? All right, roll the cameras, guys.
Please get in wardrobe. We're gonna be live in 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Like, dude, we're starting. I'm like, oh shit.
So Jose Laura threw in $2 on the super chat and said, Steve, sell me the show from Tucson, please. You already paid $2. We have already sold it to you. And Steve Mills, this is a reference to an old joke of mine. Steve Mills threw in $2 and says, ask me why I'm a douche. The answer to that is because after I had sex with your mom, she smelled better. And then also, by the way, that's one we already did about ScoMo. That's one we already had. Rachel, did we miss any non-super chat questions?
Just the only one we have is the heckles for later. So everyone else has been covered.
Okay, excellent. Let's run some of the heckles then.
Okay, there's only a few. All
right.
We've got Ohio Hobbies gave $10, and he said, is it a requirement of these comedians to grow beards like Hiroshima grows gardens?
Hey, I'm
Meh.
trying to.
I
That
know.
person has to mail us a CD.
Well, who?
Everybody
What
knows
else we
how
got?
famous Hiroshima is for growing patchy gardens.
No.
They mean Memorial Gardens.
I guess. Right?
Yeah, I gotta say, when I toured Hiroshima, the one thing I came away with was, wow, these gardens are patchy.
Let me just say, when I performed in Hiroshima, I killed.
I bombed. That's the
there
end of
it
it.
is. There it is. Thank you. Someone hit it.
All right.
I also bombed.
Yeah. Who else? What else we got, Rich?
So Rich Wilson says, Steve, if you're really gonna have to up your game if you ever want to close for Andrew Rivers again.
That's a heckle of someone basically who isn't even on the stream. I think that's more of a heckle for Andrew than me.
Well, no, they're saying Andrew's so bad that you're worse than him. Like that's
Yeah.
a double heckle. That's like a
Yeah.
Inception heckle. That's impressive.
Yeah, that's a solid one. All right, we got a contender. What else we got?
And then we've got 4x4 Cub sent a emoticon of a foot tapping and it says taps foot, waiting for Steve to tell a joke.
Right, we had that one, and that's why Jamie. We already had that one. He's like, that's still good. I still like that one.
The reused. It was a recycled one.
Yeah, and do we have anything else?
No, that was it on the heckles.
All right, what do you guys think won?
I'm getting into the Andrew Rivers one because it made fun of Andrew Rivers and you. So that was a solid.
That is, it got two of us at once.
What
Ben,
was that
what's your
first
vote?
one though? That first one?
The Hiroshima one.
No. The first one that we had. That
Oh, there was one a while back. That's right.
that was
very
that was
early
a really
one.
good
And
one earlier.
directly.
That was two
what was
streams
it?
ago.
I think it was the second one.
Well,
So
what
the
was
one
it?
for Dan, the one that was ScoMo just announced relief for Soul Traders, is that you? So that one came in.
There
That
was
one did
one
not
we
win.
there was one we did on the show during the last pandemic, I think.
Do they really call the Prime Minister of Australia ScoMo? That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He also shit himself at a McDonald's once. They have a very different government than ours.
It's true.
Yeah, our guy just eats McDonald's and doesn't shit in front of us.
Yeah.
Yeah, he
My-
gets it
my
to go.
favorite
In
thing-
Australia, we eat in. We want to enjoy the restaurant.
My favorite thing about performing in Australia was that, like, when I'm in America and I'll make fun of Trump, people will be like, yeah, fuck that guy. And then other people will be like, well, fuck you guys. And then when I perform in England and I make fun of Boris Johnson, people will be like, yeah, fuck that guy. And then other people will be like, fuck you guys. When I perform in Australia and I make fun of Scott Morrison, people are like, yeah, fuck that guy. That's the
I was
nobody
That was,
disagrees.
We all agree.
Steve, that was a lot of meat on that bone, but I liked it. I'm there for the end.
That was for our Australian viewer.
Yeah,
Steve,
okay.
Thanks,
Steve,
man.
I appreciate that
By the-
joke.
I think Jamie Kennedy just won the heckle competition. I'll
Not a runway.
It's not fair. He's in the movie.
Steve, I really appreciate that joke. I think it's great. I think in this time when we're all in our homes, it's really important to take long walks every once in a while.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh,
As someone who averages a punchline every minute and a half, I appreciate that coming from you, Jarret.
You're welcome. Well, I'm a long distance runner myself, so
I mean, if we're making fun of Jarret, can we all just say that he needed props to get through a 5-minute live stream? Like,
Well, Daniel, unlike
Okay.
you and me, he's not a prop all by himself. That's the
exactly.
hold on a second.
Hey,
Since
the ass.
Daniel, since Muggleton is slinging some shit over my way, I like how you describe. I like how you describe what was going on with the Jews in Egypt as the Egyptians. What was it? They caught them.
Caged?
What's up? What did you say?
keeping them
trapped them?
trapped, which
They
is
trapped
kind of the
them.
truth,
That is
but
not what
the whole
slavery is.
truth.
Slavery is not a trap. They didn't set up like a bunch of boxes on sticks with like matzo ball soup underneath.
That's
And
not
then
what
when
the
the Jew
pyramids
would
were?
come, when the Jew would come, they would pull the stick out.
I thought that's what the
Trap another
pyramids
one.
were.
Look,
That's how they got the
Those
Jews.
Egyptians just trapping Jews 24/7.
sorry, as an Australian, I'm not an expert on slavery.
Okay.
Wow.
All right, that's fair.
That's a solid comeback. Oh, he wins the day. That was solid.
Yeah, if there's
Guys, you guys
one country
skipped-
that has never abused their native people, it is Australia.
I guys, you guys
Stop
skipped.
telling people.
You guys skipped right from slavery to genocide.
This took a turn, guys. This took a turn.
I think
Getting
this,
back
Jamie,
in
this is
jacuzzi
all,
now.
Jamie, you took a shot at me and it just opened the door. That's what happens.
Mine was like cute and cuddly. Jesus Christ.
yours didn't involve genocide.
No.
We
All right,
went from
who
Steve
won the
had a
heckle?
long joke to genocide in 5 steps. It was pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Where's
It's an
Gleib?
I want to say
exponential
too
curve.
that the commenters really liked the heckle that Dr. Sherwood Tucker had for Dan, saying,
Oh,
"See your
that was
dentist,
it.
you need new dentures."
That's the one. That's
Oh,
right.
that's the
Oh.
one. Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
that
The
was a
dentist
that was a
saying you need
solid
better
one.
teeth. A dentist saying you need better teeth is a pretty solid heckle.
Yeah, that is a pretty good one, because if you got that at a club, you'd be like, "What, are you a dentist?" And he could just hand you his card. Like that's
Or a toothbrush.
yeah.
I have a question.
Oh, he's a dentist. His card has a toothbrush on it for sure.
Jamie Kennedy's got a
I have
question.
I have a
Yeah.
question for Steve, because, I made the movie Heckler, but you're obviously now embracing this thing and making it so much bigger than it is. My question is that the art of heckling, do you find that comedy clubs now are definitely more of a debate stage? Like, you starting off, today I was putting on my pants and somebody else something. Oh, well, where are those pants made? That's part of the patriarchy. Like, literally, it starts like, yes or no?
First of all, you know my fans to a T. That is exactly. But no, I think that people have definitely been more emboldened, but I don't think it's a heckler culture as much as it is a culture of everybody thinking their opinion matters because of social media.
Yes.
And I think the idea of like I've often said that like what happened with Twitter and with social media is, now people who have nothing to say also have nothing to write. And like those people think that their opinion matters to everyone around them because their 4 friends and retweet all their posts. And so when they come to a comedy club, sometimes they're just like, well, what about now? And then they yell out. I've actually found, and by the way, Jamie, I get asked about your movie all the time. Constantly. And one of these days I am going to watch it. I promise. I just got to heckle Jamie Kennedy about Heckler. That was
so busy right now.
Heckle
Time to watch television. No time to watch anything these days. There's a lot going on.
That's it,
That
guys.
was
The
a meta
coronavirus
heckle.
wasn't. Yeah,
That
the
was a
coronavirus wasn't real. This was all just so Steve could make that joke to Jamie Kennedy. We set this up for 6 months. It's been a fucking long
Hofstetter
time.
experiments.
Jamie, you're actually on the Jamie Kennedy experiment. We're bringing it back. It's the first episode, and we fucking got you. So welcome to fucking the 21st century.
I don't
So
know if you guys are aware of this, but Jamie Kennedy is currently himself, and he's the bearded guy running wild in the chat same time.
yeah. So to wrap up the answer to that, I get asked about your movie all the time, and it's great that you did that, because I think one of the things that I try to do with my videos is call attention to hecklers in a negative way and show like this is not what you're supposed to do at a comedy club, and you did a fine job of that. And people have said to me, if Jamie ever makes another movie, you need to be in it. So
Yeah.
I just wanted to mention that. If you,
I think we have a
Dave is
spot
very comfortable improvising.
we have
After
a
that
spot in
heckle,
Donkey
you're-
Boy too.
Yeah. But my thing is, though, I totally agree with you. And I'm sure Ben and Bowers, you've been on the road with me. It's like more than ever, I feel like in the last 2 years, the people that are heckling, it's almost like you have to explain. And it's like not stand-up comedy. It's not stand-up literally. And I just do feel everything you said. It was beautifully put. And I just feel that those people who are heckling online, we're always going to be offended anyway. Now we just hear their voices. That's my 2 cents. But I agree. I agree with everything you said.
And I also think different too is that you can't ask rhetorical questions anymore because now everyone's
No.
used to comment on everything. So like you can get like in the past, you're like, you guys been to the mall? And they would laugh. You're like, you been to the mall? They're like, yes, I have been to the mall. It's like,
Yeah.
even worse. Even worse.
And
go ahead,
I have a joke about heckling too, because I tend to sometimes do political material. I don't do very much of it in my act. Maybe 10 minutes in an hour I do political, but people will so much more frequently heckle me if I'm doing a political joke or a Trump joke. And I just think it's so weird because there's tons of things comedians say that you don't speak up about that I'm sure doesn't match your own life or your own opinion. But you mentioned politics, they jump right in. Why does nobody yell at comedians? And no one comes in my face.
I like airplane food.
Because they do. But by the way, Jarret, I would rather have someone come in my face than eat airplane food. But
Well,
That's forever on the
I
internet.
disagree.
yeah.
by the way, that sounds like a challenge we're going to have to try to do on this show. At some point. We give Steve airplane food
Aw.
and have a guy about to come in his face and see which Steve really does first. That's really
A blind taste test, if you will.
If you super chat us
Queen Rachel.
$50, super chat.
Queen Rachel, what do we have in the chat for that?
I'm gonna throw up.
Do we have, by the way, do we have any more super chats that have come in?
We do. So Amin Saleh gave $5. He said he sent in a heckle, but his super chat was empty, so I didn't see the heckle. Joey D gave $5 and said, I stumbled on here by accident and have been on here for an hour. The show's awesome. I'm thoroughly entertained.
Nice.
Revel gave another $5 and said, at Joey, I know, right? Tell your friends. I don't know what that
That's
means.
awesome. Yeah, and that's also very, very true. The way that this works is the more of you who share it, the more of you who tell your friends. We are actually also talking about the possibility of live streaming on multiple platforms, possibly Facebook, possibly Twitter. We're not quite sure yet, but we're working on expanding this. We've already started being contacted by companies about sponsorship. So if any of you run companies that sponsor stuff, hint. But yeah, it's been great thus far. We really appreciate all you guys coming on. And before we wrap this one up, first of all, Gleib, do you want to plug anything? Tell people where to find you.
Sure, thank you. It's been so much fun doing this. This is the end of our first full week. I guess tomorrow is the end of our first full week. What day is today? I don't know. Please check out Idiot Test on Netflix if you want. It's my brain teaser game show. Season 1 is on there. My podcast, Last Week on Earth. My guest this week is Maz Jobrani. I also summarize a bunch of stories going on solo, then I bring my guest on. And watch my hour special, Neurotic Gangster, right here on YouTube for free. I hope you enjoy it. Follow me on social media at Ben Gleib.
Bowers.
My album pre-sale dropped today, so it's my album Unpopular Opinions. We recorded it last month. It's now completely irrelevant, but the jokes are still funny. It pre-sales today. You can go to Amazon, Chris Bowers, or if you just go to my Facebook, there's a link, and I'll put a link up on Twitter and Instagram at Bowers Comedy. If you want to follow me on Snapchat and watch me get progressively drunk during the apocalypse, that's at Bowers Comedy on Snapchat. I want to give a shout out to the Morty's crew for coming in and being on the cam with us today and laughing and having a great time. Thank you so much. And all my party friends in Indianapolis, we're going to drink tonight and hang out. One thing that's cool thing about this is that I find that instead of just hanging out with people I don't know that well because they happen to be standing in the same bar that I am, I'm now drinking with people I truly love and on FaceTime, and it's actually better. I'm having a better time. So, positives.
That is awesome. Also, we should do a live stream where we play your album and then talk about each joke and its level of irrelevance now.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Our celebrity guest this week, Jamie Kennedy. Any plugs, any parting thoughts?
Listen, I'm just here. You can find me here and Silver Lake area. Jamie Kennedy at Twitter, Facebook, Jamie Kennedy, the Jamie Kennedy Instagram. For all your Tremors need, Tremors 6 is now on Netflix, which a lot of viewers are asking, when do they make a Tremors 5? That's also on there. I swear I'm going to get dressed up for the next one if you guys have me back. All my money goes to you guys, the young comics, Steve, disperse it to whoever you want. And let's just keep doing this because it helps us keep sane.
Yeah, absolutely. And by the way, those of you in the super chat, if you want to, or in the watching us on the live stream, if you want to super chat last minute, throw in a couple of Venmos last minute, that would be awesome. It's how the comics get paid. So we very much appreciate that. Shout out to those who have joined us in the on video in the stream, which, by the way, anyone can do. It's $10 a ticket. We're happy to have you on there. No service fees. Shout out to Dellinger Gang. Shout out to Angie, Jordan, Caitlin, Running Wild, and Totoresque. All of you folks who joined us. We very, very much appreciate everyone who supported it. Queen Rachel, did we miss anything?
Yeah, so we Emily Koenig sent in a couple bucks and said, Jamie, thanks for Tremors 5, not a cold day in hell.
Oh, here's what's scary. That's the actual title of Tremors 6. But hey, we tried.
That is wonderful. And of course, special thanks to our comedians who performed live with us today. Of course, Australia's own Daniel Muggleton. We have Ahmed Bharoocha and Jarret Berenstein. Thank you so much for joining us. Please follow all of their social medias so you can hear more about them. Ben, you want to take us home?
Absolutely. Thank you again, everybody, for joining us here on the Social Distancing Social Club, a comedy club in your overwashed hand. It's been so amazing to have an hour or so every day, except Mondays and Thursdays, where we can gather and have some break to the monotony and the craziness and the imminent risk of dying if you go outside. So here you're inside or in Jamie Kennedy's hot tub. What? Inside the hot tub of Jamie Kennedy.
By the way, I just got another tweet from someone who's interested in doing this. Word is spreading pretty quickly. Rose McGowan. So
Yes.
shit.
Yeah. We got a tight five.
Join us.
Go.
We have Arian Foster on Tuesday. So Josh Wolf's tomorrow, off Monday. Arian Foster, NFL running back, is on Tuesday with us with a great lineup of comics.
Yeah, and one of the hosts of one of the more successful podcasts out there called Now What with Arian Foster. So yeah, tune in. We'll keep announcing our schedule. Rose just asked me if she could do tomorrow, so we'll ask Josh.
Rose, give Rose my love.
Love from Jamie Kennedy. Also, just big shout out to all of you, the Isolation Nation that is joining the quarantine here. Joining us live. We three kings be stealing the gold.
Taylor,
take us out of
here. Have a good night, everybody. Bye.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, you guys.